first hear about his resurrection, it sounds impossible and crazy. Yet you trust and you hope and you imagine it over and over. That's what it was for me. But until death crashes into your world, until you're the one making funeral plans for someone who meant the world to you, until you're the one walking away from a grave and headed home to an empty place at the table, you don't know what you really believe. You find out, though. There were moments his spirit was like a tender anointing. I was held by mercy and overwhelmed by his love. He was real, and I knew that what I had believed in faith about his death and his resurrection was true.
was nothing to me. Overseeing his crucifixion was just another day on the job. I helped drive him up the hill, made sure the nails in his hands and feet would hold the weight of his body, kept the crowd under control, and was unmoved by his groans of pain. I was close enough to hear him when he spoke words of hope to the man suffering next to him, and when he spoke lovingly to his mother and a friend, and when he asked his father to forgive those who were crucifying him. That was me. He was forgiving me while I was in the middle of torturing him. And then he asked why God had left him totally alone to bear it all. By that time, even I was anxious for an end to his agony. He cried with a loud voice, "It is finished." And it was like someone turned off the lights on that hill. The ground shook and the sky disappeared. Even in the darkness, suddenly I could see he was no ordinary man. The truth came like a bolt of lightning. This was the Son of God.
You have made a place where love and wrath run wild, where penalty and grace are finally reconciled. You have made a way, the broken can be whole again. At the cross, your glory bore my shame. At the cross, you suffered in my place. You gave everything for us. At the cross, dark and sacred hill, where violence purchased peace, the innocent was bound to set the captives free. There you made a way, the lost are welcomed home again. At the cross, your glory bore my shame. At the cross, you suffered in my place. You gave everything for us. At the cross, the Prince of Heaven died. At the cross, death became a lie. You gave everything for us. You gave everything for us. Mercy there was great and grace was free. Pardon there was multiplied to me. There my burning soul found liberty. At the cross, your glory bore my shame. At the cross, you suffered in my place. You gave everything for us. At the cross, the Prince of Heaven died. At the cross, death began exchange and someday for a crown. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a
Years after I met him, I wrote, "While we were still sinners, Christ died for us." That was my story. He died for me while I thought I was too smart to believe, too pure to need his forgiveness, too proud to humble myself to him. too strong to admit I needed him. The road to Damascus changed everything. He was alive, and because he was alive, I couldn't deny him. He had me, and I found that surrendering to him was joy and freedom.
Because he's alive, no matter who I was, no matter what I've done, there's a place for me in his kingdom.
Because he's alive, I'm not broken and thrown away. I am valued and whole.
Because he's alive, I can be forgiven for my crimes, even my part in his death.
Because he's alive, death is not the end. I will see my loved one again.
Because he's alive, my failures are not my destiny. His strength is my courage. His love is my hope.
Because he's alive, the healing I've known here is only a glimmer of the ultimate healing I will know in his presence.
Because he's alive, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved.
I believe in the